cup of tea with Sam. Okay, so I think we will begin. So I'm going to put on our screen share for today. Okay. Hopefully, yep, that's come up okay. So welcome back to day two of Thrive in 2022, as we explore how you want to show up in your business through the Serve and Thrive method. Thank you so much for all of your homework, all of your engagement from yesterday. It's been really powerful seeing your reflections and seeing you really sit down, take a pause and reflect. I know it's hard to carve out the time to do that. Yeah, and I am not at home now. As I was just saying, we have jumped on an early flight to Stockholm. So do let me know if there's any tech issues, the internet isn't seeming okay, or I'm on a headset mic that's quite echoey. So just let me know that as well. So before we dive into today's content, I'm just going to bring the chat up actually. Okay. So before we dive into today's content, I just wanted to recap on some of those key points from yesterday. I know it was only yesterday you heard them, but the power of repetition, it means it just sinks a little bit more into our layers of knowing. You know, we have that first intellectual layer, but then to really know and feel something deep down in our soul. So just to recap on a couple of the things that I think are really essential, which is first and foremost, as a yoga teacher, you are a community builder. And this is a real change of mindset. Knowing communities take time, they grow one person at a time, and we celebrate every new person in our community that we get to connect with. Okay, so what is the absolute essential components of building community and building your yoga classes and learning to thrive? It is, and you'll hear me say this so many times, real conversations. Remember, it's not about likes, followers, posters, putting flyers through the door, hoping someone won't notice you. It's about actually opening up these moments to have real conversations with people, creating real relationships. Everybody wishes to be seen, understood, appreciated. And that is what underpins real relationships. I think every year our life seems to get so much faster. And what with COVID and the lockdowns, it's easier to become more consumed in an online digital space. And that can erode as the real beauties of real relationships. So making time for those conversations one-to-one with our students, getting to know about their families, their likes, their interests, their hobbies, their kids, their pets, really caring about our students, and then delivering real results. And when we really understand our students, that helps us to deliver real results. And what I mean by that is when most people come to yoga, there's multiple things that have inspired them to try something new. And often we have a surface level, something that's pulled us to try something new. Then you scratch at the surface and there's a deeper meaning. So I'm just going to give you one example of that. We all know that yoga is not designed as an exercise method, but that through practicing yoga, we can feel fitter and stronger in the body. But we certainly know a lot of students come to yoga thinking that it's a form of exercise. And some people have definitely said to me on their registration forms or in conversations, you know, I'd like to get a little fitter and a little bit more toned. So I thought I'd try yoga. That's that surface level. But then we start to build these real relationships over time. We scratch at that surface level, start to understand, actually, it's about self-worth in the body. It's about body confidence. It's about accepting ourselves wholly and completely as we are. So when we start to build these real relationships and understands people's surface level driving needs and their deeper whys, we can tailor our classes and our yoga offerings to really give people the results they want on that deep level. And that is what makes a difference, but that is also what makes people come back to your classes week in, week out for decades. Many of my students have been with me for well over a decade. So it was lovely to see in the comments how much the analogy of the tea light resonated with you. And I want to expand on that a little bit too. So if you haven't had the time to watch the replay, the tea light was inspired by this quote that we all know from Iyengar, that yoga is a light which once lit will never dim. The better your practice, the brighter the flame. And I was saying how candles, tea lights, can't light themselves. They need a lighter. And as a yoga teacher, we are that initial lighter, that initial spark that opens up the doors of yoga for someone, then expand on their own. And when you think about that, of all the unlit tea lights in your community, that is that driving motivation to get up and fly a drop, to go and do an Instagram live, to push yourself out of the comfort zone, because you've got some tea lights to light. But I want us to bring this into a deeper level now. So let's come into some meditation. And I know when you're on Zoom, it's easy to feel disconnected, but let's really do this meditation together. So allowing your eyes to close, wherever you find yourself. Allowing your eyes to close. Take a moment to settle. A moment to center and connect. I'd love you to gently rub your palms together, building just a little bit of heat, a little bit of warmth. And then holding your hands out in front of you as if you're hovering them above a candle. Warming your hands on the candle. And feel that warmth, that light of yoga. A gift that you are so fortunate has come into your world. Receive that light through your hands. And as if you're scooping up the light and the warmth, bring your hands to your chest. One hand on the heart center, other hand on top. And imagine the soft glow of a candle. A candle in the most beautiful ceramic holder. And you can't see the flame, just the warm glow. Allow this warmth to fill you from the inside out. Yoga is a light which once lit will never dim. The better your practice, the brighter the flame. As we practice together now, allow this flame to fill you. Day before the solstice, we're in the dark time. Feel the power of this light of yoga within you. Now, as you feel this light filling you from the inside out, remember all of the other yoga teachers that are with you live in this moment, here and now. Imagine us spread out. Now we've got people from all sorts of countries today. Imagine us spread out. Imagine a circle spreading the world of glowing candles. Every other yogacha is here with the same mission as you, to spread the light. We are an army of lit tea light. Breathe into that circle. And as you feel the support of your light, and this powerful circle of light, I'd love you to ask yourself a question. What do you dream of as a yoga teacher? What do you dream was possible for you? No ifs, no buts. Just dream. Breathe into the warmth of this candle and dream. You could spread this light. How do you dream to do it? And let's stay in this magical warm light as we explore the rest of today's training. When you're ready, bringing your palms together, gently rubbing them, warming them once more over a candle in front of you. And letting your hands relax down. So dare to dream. As a yoga teacher, you have already chosen to walk a different path. You have already chosen to follow a dream. But often we think our dreams are limited, whereas they are truly limitless. And if the last 2 years have shown us anything, it's that we can thrive as yoga teachers, even via a screen and a phone. I remember back in March 2022 being heartbroken at the idea of teaching yoga online. But now I see what an amazing way it is to connect, to light more tea lights. Anything is possible. You are not here to fit in. You are not here to follow a predetermined path. You are here to dream and create. Okay, to dream and create. Checking in on that chat. Okay, so are dreams just dreams? Or are they in fact your soul showing you the way? I notice how many people say, oh, I dream of that. Oh, that's on my bucket list. Or you're doing something I dreamed of. Don't let things be dreams. Let them be your soul showing you the path, showing you the way you're meant to walk. So this is, continuing in your reflection, in your handout, in your workbooks. It's going to take you some time. But what do you dream of? Anything is possible as a yoga teacher. What do you dream of? Who are your dream students? I'm going to go into each of these in a little bit more detail. And what is your soul's divine mission? Susan, yes, everything starts with a dream. What is your soul's divine mission? And trust me, there is one. Mine is to completely elevate and uplift the standards of yoga teaching and how we serve our community. Okay, so what is your soul's divine mission? Let's go in a little bit more detail. Okay, so as I've already been saying, teaching your life's passion is an empowering opportunity to create the life of your dreams. No barriers, no thinking small. What do you yearn for? And you don't have to fit into someone else's predetermined box. You see this ridiculous photo of me to the left. Some of you heard me say yesterday that I launched a festival. I didn't know how to launch a festival. I don't have a background in events. I didn't really even go to festivals. I don't like camping. But I had this dream of bringing all of my yoga community together in one space to celebrate the power of yoga. I had no idea how to do it, no rule book, no handbook. It just made the decision. It just made the decision to create a festival, and that is Soulfest. Okay? And this is from the closing circle of Soulfest. You've heard me say this before, some of you. If you have a dream and you think, like mine, of bringing Soulfest to life, I don't know how to do that. It doesn't mean the dream isn't for you. It doesn't mean, thank you, Becky. It doesn't mean that you're missing a skill. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just means you haven't figured it out yet. And there's some learning on the way. Somebody once said to me, if you already know how to accomplish your dream, you are not dreaming big enough. And I hold this in my heart year in, year out. My husband and I are in the middle of trying to build an eco wellness home. We don't know how to do that. We don't know how to bring that dream to life. But all you have to know how to do is take the next step. So go back to Soulfest, my festival. What was the first step? It was to book a date. The second step, to find a venue. The third step, to reach out to my community of teachers and put on a program. The fourth step, to create a website for it, step by step. And as you take the first step, it becomes so much easier to take the second. You don't have to know how to do it when you start the journey. No barriers, no thinking small. What do you yearn for? So these are the reflective questions that I want you to be answering over the next period of time. And you don't have to complete all the homework today. You've got till the end of Wednesday, I think. So what does your ideal day look like? And this is really powerful. This informs what comes next when we think about how you're going to create your classes. What does your ideal day look like? So do you want to spend your mornings dedicated to your own meditation and yoga practice, to nourishing your body with a healing breakfast, journaling? If that's how you dream to spend your mornings, don't put on a morning class. Or if you dream of spending your evenings at home with your family, cooking nourishing meals, spending quality time together, don't book all of your classes at 7 p.m. every night because someone told you that that was prime time yoga and that's what you should do. Okay? What does your ideal day look like? And I say this time and time again, life before business. And I hope I'm modeling that to you today. You know, I've committed to be with you for these few days and then decided, oh no, I'm getting on a plane to Stockholm. That decision came first, life before business. And then I can figure out how to do the both, but life before business. So what does your ideal day look like? And trust me, you can teach yoga classes at any time of the day. My current most popular class is 11:30 on a Tuesday. My chair yoga class used to be at 2 o'clock. I teach my morning warriors at 8 a.m. You know, I teach 7 p.m. classes. There is no prime time. Get these rules out of your head. They just stop your creativity. There's no prime time. They're just arbitrary rules. There are people available at any time of the day. Don't believe me? Go to the supermarket at all times of the day and you'll find people there. People don't always work. People are retired. People can work shifts. People have flexible working. Anyone can be available at any time. You just work out who is most available and interested in yoga at 2 o'clock, probably a chair yoga class. Who's most interested at yoga at 9:30 in the morning? Probably parents after they drop their kids off at school that don't go to work. There are people around. 2, how much time do you want to spend teaching yoga and working on your business? And it's really important that you consider both of these. What happens is most people think, okay, how much time do I want to spend teaching? Maybe you've got another job, maybe you've got kids, and you think, okay, I can dedicate about 6-7 hours to my yoga business. Okay, so I can put on 5-6 classes. Forgetting to then factor in the travel time, also the working on your business. And if you want to teach yoga full time and it be your sole income, I honest to God think that is 70% working on your business, 30% teaching in your business. I teach a lot, but it's still only about 30% of my full-time hours. The rest is working on my business. So if you want to work less, think, okay, I'll set up one class. So I teach 1 hour a week, and then I'll spend 2 hours a week building and marketing that class. Then when that one class is full, then add a second class so that those 2 hours of marketing can go to filling the second class, rather than doing what so many people do, which is, right, I'm going to put on 6-7 classes, then leaving yourself no time for marketing them and feeling totally overwhelmed. Okay. 3, in what space or environment would you like to teach? And again, Zoom has opened up a whole world for us. My membership is on Facebook. These things weren't possible. But then, do you want to teach in your home? Do you want to build a home studio? Do you want to teach in studios? Do you want to teach outside? Do you want to hire village halls? So start by dreaming, not the ifs and buts of, oh, there's nothing available in my local area. Just park that for a moment. Start by dreaming. Don't say no to yourself at this stage. So in what space, environment are you teaching? What does your income look like? Okay, dream. Don't censor. Okay. When I first started teaching yoga full time, so I've been teaching 12 years, full time about 10 of those, I didn't expect to be able to make a full-time income doing yoga. I hadn't seen a teacher do it. Luckily, my husband was able to support me, but then soon that changed. And now my income is the biggest income in our family. You can make good money teaching yoga. Just start doing the math. As I said, I've got 70 people in my Warriors membership right now. They pay £35 a month every month. That's just my online membership. Okay. Then there's classes, retreats, workshops, events, programs, teacher training. Start doing the maths and seeing what is possible and believing it is limitless. Then also being honest with yourself that clearly ties to how many hours you want to work on your business. More income does take more work. So maybe you don't want more income. Maybe you love your job and you just want one class a week that's fulfilling, that feels balanced in terms of what you earn for it and isn't taking up a lot of time, you and your family. And would you like to be working on your own or in collaboration with others? Keep an eye on the time, okay? You can do anything. I know 2 lovely teachers, Vicky and Carla. They co-teach a lot in one class. They co-teach retreats. Lauren Gray and I are co-teaching a CPD together next year. You can co-teach. I know Naomi's been doing so many sound baths, like with Tim. You can collaborate with other teachers. But equally, a lot of the time, I love to work on my own. So see, where does somebody else's skills elevate, or where would you actually just like the space and freedom to run things your way? Okay. So what are you passionate about? We touched on this yesterday. Yoga is personal. Teaching yoga is personal and professional. The more you bring you to it, The more you differentiate yourself from other yoga teachers out there, the more your community can find you. So what do you love about yoga? And reflect on this again now, because what I love about yoga in 2021 is honestly different to what I loved about yoga in 2019. My practice has become a lot more introverted, a lot more spiritual, a lot more gentle and nourishing over the last couple of years. And that's even more different to 5 years ago, and I think I still want to do a handstand. Okay, so what do you love about yoga today? And your students grow and evolve with that. As my passions of yoga have changed, my students have still stayed with me. Okay, why do you teach yoga? Why do you teach it? What big changes has yoga brought to your life? Because when you share your story and how yoga's changed your life, that's a great way to inspire other people. So yoga changed my life with back pain. It changed my life that I'm not to a desk doing recruitment anymore. How has yoga changed your life? What aspects of yoga do you most love to teach? Okay. One of the people that did my mentorship program last year, Holly, she's just had a real breakthrough with this when she's just realized she likes nourishing, healing, gentle, accessible yoga. A new student she's had for a while this year said, Holly, you were great for beginners, but actually I want a bit more exercise now, so I'm going to go to someone else. And she was like, I'm glad you enjoyed my practice. Grow elsewhere. She didn't feel the need to change who she was. She didn't go, oh, yoga's not hard enough. Oh, I should make it more exercise-based. No, she knew there was another lovely teacher that could serve that student. This is so powerful. What aspects of yoga do you most love to teach? And go into that. Because when you teach with passion, it's infectious. Okay? Don't teach what you're not passionate about. And what outside of yoga are you passionate about? This does dip into the marketing that we're going to come into, but for people to, and you've heard this, for people to resonate with you and to want to come to your classes, you need to get through the know, like, and trust. For someone to feel like they know and like you, it helps if they know a bit about you, if they can connect with your passion. Dare to be different. And this has been underpinning a lot of what we've been talking about today. Dare to be different. Yoga is for everybody, yes. But you are not for everyone, and not everyone is for you. And a life lived people-pleasing, it's only going to damage your self-confidence. It's only going to bring up that imposter syndrome and make you feel less fulfilled teaching. The more you can own who you are, dare to be different, the more your community can find you. So I would like you to consider, what are the 3 things that differentiate you? We're not trying to fit in, we're trying to differentiate you. So I remember having a conversation with someone a little while ago that was running 75-minute yoga classes. And she said, oh, I think I need to cut my classes down to 60 minutes. How much do you think I should charge for that? And I said, why do you want to cut your classes from 75 minutes to 60? So because all the other teachers around me are doing 60 minutes. Because she wanted to cut away what differentiated her to fit in, versus what she needed to do was celebrate what differentiates her. So what differentiates a 75-minute yoga class to a 60-minute? 75-minute yoga classes have space for the magic. They can do extra meditation, a longer relaxation. They can explore different yoga poses in more depth and more nuance. Those last 15 minutes of a 75-minute class can bring so much depth. So she needed to celebrate that, not fit in. Okay? Surround yourself with people who light you up, people you are passionate to teach. Any of you who've been to some of my classes, they are full of like-minded nutters. They are all as weird as I am, and we feel like a family. We take our yoga seriously, but we laugh and we giggle. It's family, okay? And your family love you, warts and all. So your dream students, what type of people do you love being around? These are the people you want to fill your classes with. I'm not interested in teaching crow, headstand, or handstand. I'm not interested in teaching physical fitness yoga. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It just means I'm not going to be teaching in a gym. Okay? I want to teach people who are curious, who want to learn about philosophy, who want to learn about anatomy. I want people who want to learn. Okay? Who would most benefit from what you have to share? Okay? So for instance, I ran a transformative rest 12-week restorative yoga course. Who is going to most benefit from I want to share nourishing restorative yoga? Who's going to benefit from that? People who are stressed, people who may be experiencing insomnia, people who have chronic medical conditions. Who is going to benefit from what you have to share? What does the local demographic look? So this is a little different now. These last two bits are slightly stepping away from the dream and getting a little bit more practical. Matt, let me just look at your question. Do you think that you can teach the yoga you want to teach in a gym? I think you're going to say, yeah, I do actually. I think if you own who you are, you will attract the right people and other people will step away, and you just got to be okay with that. So these next three things are a little bit of a shift. If you are teaching in an area that appears, it's an illusion, appears to be saturated with other yoga teachers, you want to do the dream work, but you also want to do a little bit of market research as well. And the market research, again, is about how do you fit in, it's about how do you differentiate by identifying the gap. Some of you have been to my training on the gap before, which we'll do in spring again. This is just a little bit on the gap. So what does the local demographic look like in your area if you're teaching in person? And what does the demographic look like at the people that attend classes in your area? And you'll find they're wildly different. Okay? Yoga classes tend to attract a very narrow demographic. Okay? If you were to go around your local community, you'll see so many people are not being served by yoga. Go into a yoga class and find even now, it's 60, 70%, even 100%, some of them women. So we know men are not being as well served. You go into a yoga class locally and you'll find it is predominantly white. We'll find that we are not serving other demographics in communities. You'll go into a yoga class and you'll find there's a narrow-ish age range. We're certainly not appealing or being accessible to all of an elderly population. You'll go in and find a more narrow demographic in body type. We're certainly not accessible to the broad spectrum of humans that fill your community. So when you see who in your community is not being served by yoga, that can also help you identify your dream students, because your dream students are those unlit tea lights. The tea light's already been lit, leave it to somebody else. Go for the ones that are unlit. And there's a reason they're unlit, probably because they haven't felt yoga's accessible to them in their area. Is there a gap in who is being served? Yes, clearly. So what is it? Is it in your area? Then once you've identified the people that aren't being served and your dream students, what are the needs of these people? So just a really simple example, that if you notice an elderly population is not being served in your area, you might know that that needs of those people are they don't want to get up and down on the floor. They don't want to sit on the floor. They might need to use a chair for some or all of the class. Maybe that means your class can't be up 2 flights of stairs, so you're looking for a venue that's ground floor. Literally, what are the needs What are the needs if men aren't being served in yoga? Why not? People of different ethnicities are not being served in yoga. Why? What needs are not being met? Oh, I never know when the last slide is coming. So I'm just going to close the screen share because I've not been able to see you. I don't know why today. I'm just going to close. Ah, there you are. Okay. So is this resonating with you? Is the idea of community, of building a community, is that resonating with you? Good. And are you feeling that you can dream and that anything's possible? Because that's hard, because a lot of people say no. What you dream of, that's just silly, Laura. People do poo-poo our dreams, don't they? We have to, anything is possible. Definitely dreaming. Good. So give yourself some free space to dream today. Grab a hot chocolate or a mulled wine and dream. And then let the practical brain that's coming tomorrow work with the dreams. So I'm going to have a little chat, see if you've got any questions going on there. Yes, Christina, up to building a community. Jackie, I have found that I have more cohesive community since Zoom teaching. That's really interesting. I think Zoom has made a lot of people realize how important their yoga is to them. Feeling motivated and ready to dream for the new year. Excellent. Susan, yes to dreaming. Good. Well, I am going to leave you to dream and hunt down whatever bar Samantha's told me I've got to go run into. So please, let's head into the after party. I loved seeing your homework. I'm taking the time to go through all of it. So after party, back in the Facebook group, I'll put a post up like yesterday for a homework thread, and I will see you same time, same space tomorrow. Was the internet and the audio all okay? Good, good, good. Thank you, my army of tea light friends.